Okay, so we did the hot seat, and if, for those of you who are not familiar with the concept, basically a hot seat is, as an entrepreneur, you come up here, and why is it called a hot seat? Because it's hot, okay? And you tell me your biggest problem, your biggest challenge, and I solve it on the spot for you. Basically, that's what it is. And somehow people think I have this magic power that I could do this. It's actually, to me, it's very, very easy. It's actually easier than doing a presentation. The reason for that is it's not that because I'm so brilliant, it's because if you have been like me and you've been exposed to 40, 50 different industries, working with hundreds of companies since in my 20s as a copywriter, marketing consultant, and then an entrepreneur, you've been exposed to so many businesses and business ideas and strategies. Well, I could be an idiot, but I would still see there's certain patterns, there's certain practices that, oh yeah, it works. Well, how about you try it and it works for you? It's not that because I'm so brilliant, it's just because I've made more mistakes than most and I've been exposed to more things than most entrepreneurs. That's all. One of my gifts, I would say, is a friend of mine, one time he told me that, oh, Dan, you're a great connector. I said, like, what do you mean, like connecting with people? I said, no, he said, you're a great connector. He said, you have the ability to take and connect different ideas from different industries and borrow the best practices from one industry to another. I said, that's interesting. I never looked at it that way. And that's just one of my, I don't know if it's talents, I don't know experience, but just something that I have a knack for, I guess. So it would be interesting. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what I'm going to say. But it would be interesting. Alfred, you ready?
I don't know what I'm going to say either.
Okay, have a round of applause. And if you want a hot seat, by the way, just send in Facebook or send an email to my team, DJ or David, and you can apply for it, and I can pick you as well. Yeah? So.
Wow, it's a little hot up here.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, Alfred, tell me, because you email me first, and you asked me a couple questions. Oh, Alfred, let's do a hot seat. So maybe give them a little backstory first.
Okay, so one of the sessions that I was at, I think the first session at the Vancouver Club, Dan said, so why hasn't anybody reached out to me? So I asked him, so how do you reach out to Dan? And he said, go to my website. So I reached out to him. Basically, my main problem right now, which is pretty much on the way to being solved, is that my business is a kinesiologist. I've always operated out of independent training studios. I started it as a partnership with one large chain called Fitness World, but when they merged with Steve Nash, we decided to break up that partnership. So for various reasons, I've had some struggles in terms of moving around, and in December, I found out that the training studio that I'm renting space from is actually closing. So I was kind of stuck in terms of what my next move was. And because of my partnership with them, I actually found a space in the same building, which is about 900 square foot. My plan has always been to get enough gym equipment to have a few kinesiologists and myself up there, maybe additional practitioners as well. But December's little news kind of pushed the button and said, okay, you're hot, you have to go, you have to find some capital. And that's where I was at. I was like, where do I find the money to do this? And what can I do a minimal level with it versus what can I do is my dream outfit. So I reached out to Dan and said, what are my options?
Okay. So first of all, sometimes I've done hot seats where I would just say do A, B, C, and D.
Yeah.
But sometimes I've also done hot seats where I'm just asking questions. And it makes the entrepreneur ponder. And then sometimes they come up with the answers on their own. Okay. Now, first of all, there's a lesson there I want all of you to get. So with Fitness World,
yeah.
And then back then, and you had basically, you didn't have to do any kind of marketing, I assume. They send you all the clients.
Well, I've been working with them for 7 years, and I found a space within the gym, and I was one of their top personal trainers. So yeah, basically, I had a sales team around me. I had other personal trainers referring clients to me. I was able to see the clients doing their workouts and continue to book them in, and that was one way to do that. But without that traffic flow, it's harder to stay in touch with clients.
Okay. So you know, how many of you actually in your business right now, you have one source that's bringing most of the clients for you right now? Guys, show your hands. Okay. That's actually extremely dangerous. Okay. The worst number in business is what? One. The one supplier that you use, the one employee that you rely on, the one joint venture partner that brings in 80% of the sales. Because relationships don't last forever. They never do. They never last forever. Things happen, environment changes, something not even they want, but things happen. So if all your business is coming from now one source, and you do, well, you know what, I didn't have to do marketing, business comes to me, life is easy, right? That's when you should be paranoid. Not to be comfortable, yeah,